Hello there, welcome to my review of the Italeri Horsa it's Mark 1 and Mark 2. Now this kit I actually brought Pegasus Bridge in Normandy a couple of years ago. I have built another one recently which I can show you in a little while, but I just thought if I did a review or an unboxing of this and see whether you're sort of happy with it or whether you'd like to look at other brands because you don't like the detail or whatever with this one. So she's literally unboxing it. So we've got the standard decals. You can make an American version as well as a British one. There's a training version in here as well, which I think is what the box art is. I think some of these stripes indicate it's a training one. You can make the Mark 1 and the Mark 2, so you can do the sort of wider door for the loading for the Mark 1, or you can do the Mark 2, which I think is a single door from memory. And I think the Mark 2, the front comes away to load, and of course the rear comes away to sort of get the heavy equipment out. But generally the kit is sort of, it was okay. The main issue I got is I think there was a bit of a lack of detail with it and what you could actually do with it. It would have been nice if there was some sort of chains, or if there was some part. There is some figures, but one looks like a paratrooper, and the other one's just got normal sort of, he hasn't got like the Denison smock on, so they're not much sort of use. The clears, they're okay. I found that masking it was, well, we all know what masking's like, but it was okay to mask it up, and it seems to fit okay. So the main wing assembly, there's a little bit of recess there, but not really. It would have been, I mean, it's a sort of fabricated wooden frame, but it's difficult sometimes to get the sort of work and the sort of pop that you want from the sort of model. There's a bit of detail inside, that's part of the floor assembly. And the internals, there is provisions in the kit to make the sort of benches and whatever, but it would have been nice to have some ramps that we could use for unloading, and some chains and things, which are a little bit lacking. But it is a basic aircraft after all, and they did make thousands of them out of wood. I'm not sure about the actual cockpit controls, because looking online they look slightly different, and I know Bronco do a horse. I don't think it's this scale, but it was a bit lacking, I thought. I know sometimes it's covered up by the actual canopy, but it seemed to be a shame. You've obviously got the different sorts of undercarriage. There's a skid with the Mark 1, and you haven't got that with the sort of Mark 2, but it was generally sort of okay to build. I mean, you can see there's not a lot to it. It's a very basic sort of kit. It takes up a lot of room for the size of the actual kit. The instructions, well, they're sort of okay. There's a couple of instances where you sort of struggle with that when they're saying whether something's Mark 1 and Mark 2, and I had to go online to sort of just to rectify that, really, because it wasn't clear to me. But that's probably user error with me more than anything. These are the figures that I was talking about. I mean, at first I thought he was a glider pilot, but I'm not really sure what's going on, really. And he hadn't really got the Denison smock on, which again was a sort of disadvantage. As far as paint schemes go, you've got sort of Normandy. There's the sort of United States Air Force or Army Air Force. and a training one. It was okay. It was okay to do. As far as results go, this is what it looked like when it's finished. So I'm building a diorama at the moment. There is a review of the paints I've used, because I've used a Italeri paint scheme, and I put a brown wash on this, so it's quite, I've got to do a bit more work on that. There's a lot of injector holes everywhere. I mean, that's a bit of, I mean, I'm going to cover that up with a pack. I don't know if you can just sort of see it. I don't think you can. So that's a bit of a pain. But I mean, you can imagine that with this one, I've sort of done it so that the sort of wings coming off, because it takes quite a bit of space, the diorama. I don't know if you can see that a bit better. It's quite bland inside. I'm not too sure about the controls, but you know, it was okay. This one I just got from eBay a couple of years ago. It needs a bit more work. So I've just mocked this up as the scratch build. Not that great, but you know, you try. I quite like the D-Day stripes. I like anything with D-Day stripes. Spent a lot of time over in France looking around at Normandy. But on a whole, the kit's okay. It's okay. Does take up a lot of space. I'm sure there's better kits out there, but I'm not sure if they're this scale. But I hope you've enjoyed the review, the unboxing. Subscribe and like if you think so. Cheers. Bye bye.